Hi Cancer, welcome to Moonbeam's Messages. This is your collective reading for self-reflection. Now, as this is collective, not everything will resonate, so please only take what resonates and leave what doesn't. If you don't find any messages in this for yourself, then please check your other placements. You're likely to find a message in there. Now, I do apologise that I didn't put any content out last week. I did have a bereavement in my family and I just wasn't quite feeling myself, so I didn't particularly want to publish anything, so yeah, apologies for that. Now, if you do like your reading today, if you hit that thumbs up button, it will help pass the message on to anybody else that needs to hear it. And if you want to hear more from me and you haven't subscribed already, if you press that subscription button, it will help. And if you press the notification bell, it will let you know whenever I do post new content. So let's get into your reading. Can we get some cards, please, Spirit, for the self-reflection journey of Cancer? Okay, so the overall energy we have for yourself is the Devil at the moment. So you could be going through a bit of addiction. Maybe you've got some negative thought patterns that have hitting into you. You could be overworking. You could be overdoing things at the moment. You could feel completely bound to a situation. But yeah, lots of negativity, toxicity going on potentially. Just whether it's physically or mentally, it's something that you potentially need to deal with. But yeah, so this could be affecting you, in the 3D as well as in the 5D, very much physical or mental. The Devil represents pretty much anything negative, anything toxic that you could potentially think of during life. So yeah, it could be anything that's going on for you with regards to that. Now, what's keeping you stuck and bound in this horrible, horrible negative energy? We have a Nine of Wands. Now, this particular Nine of Wands isn't actually too bad because it's in the reverse. So the Nine of Wands is very much that wounded warrior energy. You're trying to prevent yourself from getting hurt again. Potentially this is where negative thinking may be coming in. You could be feeling bound to a particular situation, like you don't want to repeat certain things from the past. You're trying to keep yourself out of harm's way, and very much this is you starting to release that. So not having your boundaries up, or having your boundaries up too high has been keeping you stuck. So this is very much you are trying to become unstuck, and you're trying to lower your boundaries. You're trying to bring those barriers down, trying to move forward. But at the minute, that's a little bit of you're not able to do it fully. So your barriers are still up quite high. Still trying to protect yourself. Not really letting anybody in fully at the moment. Let's get clarification of that Nine of Wands, Spirit. I say 9, it's not even a 9, is it? It's an 8. So let me retract all of that. Clearly there's a 9 coming out for some reason. Might come out in another card later on. So the 8 of Wands, miscommunication is what's keeping you stuck at the minute. You're not communicating very well, and it is being miscommunicated. So there's either no communication or miscommunication, and that is what's keeping you stuck. My guess would be miscommunication with this beautiful Devil card. I say beautiful, he's really not beautiful. It's a pretty ugly card, really, to be fair. Well, I don't know, he's ugly compared to some of the Devil cards that I've got. I apologise if that resembles anybody you know. It's always horrible when you come across a tarot card that's horrible that resembles somebody that you know. I've got a Devil card in one of my other decks that I'm pretty sure looks like my dad. I hope my dad never sees this to hear that. Excuse me. Oh, clearly that was never meant to come out. But yeah, so anyway, get serious for you. So yeah, so miscommunication or no communication is very clearly what is keeping you stuck. Now this could be you communicating with yourself, or it could be communicating with other people. doesn't have to be with other people. It can be your internal communication. You could very well be refusing to talk to yourself, or you could be misleading yourself. Can I get some more cards, please, Spirit? Thank you. Okay, so we do have the Star card. So you are very hopeful about something. You are trying to heal a situation. You're trying to have optimism and stay hopeful about something. But then we have the Seven of Wands. That's come out to the side. So you do feel very trapped. You feel like there's a lot of competition around you. You're having to guard yourself. You're having to stay defensive. You're trying your hardest to block it out. And this is where this miscommunication's coming in potentially. There might not actually be as much competition as you feel that you need, as there is. It could very well be that there's actually not much going on. It's just all in your head. So you could be very much miscommunicating it with yourself. It could be that you've had conversations with people and things have got miscommunicated, and that could be why you feel like there's a need to defend yourself. You're hopeful that the situation will resolve, but you at the same time are having to defend yourself, stand up for yourself, and you're trying to block it all out as well. Now we have the Magician in the reverse, which is suggesting to me that you are lacking confidence. You feel like you're not skilled enough to bring this or change this around. Now this could also be somebody else that may be manipulating a situation as well. But as this is more about your reflection on things, I mean, it could be that somebody's manipulating a situation, and that could be why you're having to defend yourself so much. It seems like, to be honest, it seems more like there was a situation that you were quite hopeful at. Something's happened, you've ended up having to defend yourself, and then you've lost a lot of self-confidence and a lot of skill, and things have just ended up, and it's all because of some sort of miscommunication that's happened. And it's just got you feeling stuck because you don't know how to move forward from it. You don't have the skill to move forward, or at least you don't feel like you've got the skill to move forward. You don't know how to communicate whatever has happened correctly in order to push forward. Now, what healing have you got available to you? This is a Three of Wands in the reverse. Now, the Three of Wands in the upright would suggest to me that you need to have patience. But this is in the reverse. It's telling me that it's time to take action. It's time to stop waiting for things to get better. So let's have a look and see what it's telling you to take action on. My guess would be communication. Because the Magician in the reverse, he's not really doing anything. In the upright, he's trying to, get things to happen. In the reverse, he's not doing anything because he doesn't feel like he's got the skill to do anything. Can I get clarification of this Three of Wands, please, Spirit? So we have an Eight of Wands again that came out. This was the first one that came out. Again, it's in the upright. Sorry, in the reverse. So to me, this is suggesting that you need to stop waiting for it to clear up. You need to do some clearing up of whatever this miscommunication is. Stop waiting for things to get better. We have the King of Swords coming out to the side. Now, this could be very challenging to clear it up. The King of Swords is somebody that is, in the upright, he's very truthful, he's very honest, he's direct, he's articulate. You could struggle with that a little bit, and that could be where the miscommunication came in to start with. But this is suggesting to me that you need to stop waiting around, stop letting it happen. If you are not skilled enough at communicating, get someone to help, potentially a King of Swords. It may be a little bit hard for you to do that. It could just be that you need to learn to articulate it correctly yourself. And if you're not particularly skilled at communication, it could just be that you you find that difficult to do. But it is suggesting to me that you do need to put some sort of end to this. Now, it could just be that this Eight of Wands is communication that hasn't yet happened. And this is telling me to stop waiting around for it. You know, it's not happening towards you. Go and do it towards somebody else. If you're waiting for some communication, stop waiting for it. It could even be that you may need to just stop waiting for communication completely with regards to a certain topic, whatever this is. It could be that you may be waiting for someone to come towards you, maybe with an apology or an offer, or, you know, it could be anything. You're sitting waiting for somebody. This is telling you to stop waiting. Stop waiting for that communication to come in. Seek it out with the King of Swords. Find out the information yourself. You may not want to find it out. It might be a big challenge to you to find it out. But find it out yourself. Get that clarity. Get that clarity. Get the message yourself. Whether it's you communicating it out to someone or them communicating to you. Get your message out. Now, you do have the Page of Cups, so it is suggesting to me that you keep your emotions out of this as well. So whatever it is that you are patiently or have been patiently waiting on, try and keep your emotions out of it when you are getting the clarity. It could very well be something that could be very emotional for you, but it is suggesting that you do try and keep your emotions separate. Now, the King of Swords is somebody that is very good at keeping his emotions separate to his actions. He's very much all mental focus, and he doesn't really have much room for his heart, which is potentially, again, why this is a bit of a challenge for you, because you could be somebody that is quite emotional, especially being a water sign. So very much trying to keep your emotions out of this communication, and trying to make sure that it is very clear and articulate. Yes, it could be a challenge, but it is something that is needed. Now, this could also be that you may need to stop being so adventurous and so creative and so flirty. I don't think it's that. I think it could even be the end of a friendship, potentially. Maybe it's a miscommunication with somebody that you are expecting an apology from, maybe. And it's just not quite turning out the way that you want it to. But this is definitely suggesting to me that you need to stop waiting for some sort of communication to happen or some clarity. It's suggesting that you either get the clarity yourself, give the clarity out and communicate it, or just stop waiting. You know, stop letting your emotions rule what's going on. Try and be logical about it instead. Now, the challenge that you may be facing, we have this Two of Pentacles. So this challenge is going to come in while you're trying to do this healing. The Two of Pentacles is very much you overdoing something. It's being out of balance, putting too much in one place. You could potentially be you could be multitasking. Maybe you've got multiple jobs. Maybe maybe you spend too much time with your family. It could very much be you putting too much energy into one place and not enough into other aspects of your life. It's very much suggesting that you need to find some balance. It could very well be that you listen to your heart more than you listen to your head. And that could be what you've got to balance out. Trying to get that uniformity between your heart and your head. And having the confidence that you'll be able to do it, because here you've got the Magician in the reverse. You don't have confidence. So this could be very much you gaining that confidence to be able to do what you need to. So we have a Six of Swords in the reverse, which is suggesting to me that you may find it hard to get out of some sort of turbulence, some sort of conflict that you've been going through. It is going to happen, but it's going to move slowly. So potentially I can understand if you want to try and prevent further miscommunication. That could be where this King of Swords needs to come in. You know, it's not necessarily listening to your emotions, but using that logic, making sure that you are articulating things very clearly. Obviously, it could be a big challenge because of the conflict that's going on, trying to prevent further miscommunication, especially if you are a very emotional type of person. Because let's face it, emotions can get in the way quite a lot sometimes when you're trying to be not so much just logical, but when you're trying to do things for your best, sometimes your heart can pull you in one direction, even though you know it's not good for you. You know, this is very much you moving out of turbulence towards something that's better, but it could be that your heart is still pulling you in the wrong direction. And I know that loads of people sit there and say listen to your heart, but sometimes you've got to tell your heart no, because as much as you might want to listen to your heart, there's certain things like trauma bonds which can come in with the devil, you know, and there's traumatic events that get you used to certain things and you think that that's normal, and then even though you know it's not normal and you know you shouldn't want it, your heart still wants it because it's bonded to it. And that's part of what the devil is. And that a lot of the time that could be things like codependency, it could be certain addictions, and your heart is telling you want it. You've got certain chemicals that are telling you want it, but in your head you're going, no, I don't want it, it's bad for me, because you know it's bad for you. So it's so hard sometimes to get that balance right so that you can move forward. And this could very well just be a turbulence within yourself. It doesn't even have to be with anybody else. And when I say that this could be miscommunication with yourself as well, this could all be stuff that's going on internally, because you might just be having that big conflict between your heart and your head, and you might not know what it is that you want. So it could very well be that your head's telling you one thing, your heart's telling you the other. One's winning out sometimes and the other one wins out. But you might actually need to get some clarity on what it is that you actually want, what is actually good for you. Maybe you need to seek some help from somewhere else to try and get that, because it could be that, you know, if you're trying to think things logically, you're not paying attention enough to your heart, because there's got to be a reason why you want certain things certain ways, you know. But it's the same as if you're trauma bonded. What is it that your heart's actually wanting? Is it the person or is it the feeling? You know, and it's making sure that you know the difference. And that's where your head comes in. So yes, by all means, listen to your heart, but your head's got to decipher what your heart's trying to tell you. And a lot of the time, if you're not listening properly, you'll be telling yourself the wrong things. So it's making sure that you understand yourself enough to do that. Now, we do have a judgment card in the reverse. Now, that's telling me that something is in your face and you're not actually seeing it. So potentially there are some truths around you and you've not seen those truths, or you don't want to see them. And it's causing you a bit of an issue because you're not able to make a final decision on something. Now, the judgment card is very much a final decision. When it's in the upright, it's you making that decision. In the reverse, it's you not wanting to make that decision just yet, or you not having the clarity to make that decision. But it is telling me that there is a wake-up call coming for you, and you have to embrace that wake-up call. Now, at the moment, you could have already had it, but you're ignoring it because you don't want to make the decision yet. But when it comes, you're going to have to make the decision, okay? And that is going to help balance you out. Now, we did have the Seven of Cups come out in the reverse. So that tells me that you know what's good for you. You know ultimately what it is that you want. You know, you've probably got a lot of dreams, your intuition guiding you, telling you, helping you decide what it is that's good for you and what you want. But it's ultimately taking those steps to do that and actually move towards what it is you want. At the moment, like I say, that judgment card is suggesting to me that you're trying to avoid it potentially. You know what it is that you want. You know what's good for yourself or good for you. But you could just be having a bit of a war. Now, what you need to embrace, we have a King of Cups in the reverse. Now, the King of Cups in the reverse is not somebody that is in touch with his emotions at all. So, again, potentially letting your head win over your heart. The King of Cups, though, he does have a lot of emotions, and in the reverse, they're not being fulfilled. He's not emotionally fulfilled. He's not giving his emotions out. He's keeping them to himself. He is completely closed off. Now, he can also be a little bit emotionally manipulative to try and get what he wants when he's in the reverse. Now, I'm not suggesting any of you embrace being emotionally manipulative, because that's a very negative energy and that's not something you want to do. It will not give you good karma. However, sometimes if you are very, very emotional, then shutting your emotions off sometimes and listening to your head is probably a good thing. Now, the King of Cups is somebody that is very much in control of his emotions. Now, it is suggesting to me as well that it's okay to not be in control of your emotions. It's okay to feel your emotions and let them out. When the King of Cups is in the upright, he's very much the master of his emotions. In the reverse, he's not the master of them yet, so they still get the better of him sometimes. And that's not a bad thing. Sometimes when you need to cry, you need to cry. And sometimes you can't help but laugh, even if it's a really horrible situation. It's like when you see someone fall over, you don't want to laugh, but sometimes you can't help yourself but laugh. You know, as much, and you can still go over and help them up and everything else, but sometimes you just can't help it, especially if it's your friends. Right, so the first card that came out then was a Page of Swords. Now that came out to the side. So potentially you are looking into certain things. You may be doing some investigation, trying to learn certain things. This could be you trying to get the clarity that you need from over here. Very much the energy of embracing clarity, communication as well. The Page of Swords is very much a communication card. He's in the upright, is communicating. But the Page of Swords can be subject to a bit of gossip. So it's trying to ignore the gossip, trying to find out information yourself on whatever it is you need to do. It could be that you need to go on a course, potentially. It could be that you need to seek help from somebody as well. Or maybe you're doing a lot of watching of certain stuff on social media, potentially to help manage your emotions better. We do have an Ace of Cups that came out to the side. So embracing that an opportunity will come up, but you might not be fully skilled yet to accept that opportunity or embrace it fully. Now that's part of what this Page of Swords is doing. He's trying to learn enough so that he can make sure that he doesn't miss opportunities. So it could just be very much that you need to learn to manage your emotions so that you don't miss things in future. We do have a Seven of Pentacles, so it is very much if you are planting your seeds, you are waiting for things to grow. I mean, you've literally got farmers in the background on this one planting seeds, waiting for them to grow. But you are very much trying to... So, like with the Page of Swords, you start learning things, you start gaining the skills, you can then develop things, and then long term, they just get better and better and better. That's very much the Seven of Pentacles. You know, you start things, you nurture it, you keep it growing, and eventually it will pay off for you. So learning how to embrace your emotions, learning how to control your emotions is going to pay off for you in the long run. Not necessarily worrying too much about an Ace of Cups missing out on an emotionally fulfilling opportunity, because there will be other emotionally fulfilling opportunities that will come along. But at the same time, making sure that you don't miss out on something, because it could very well be that, you know, that could help you along your learning, you know. So it could be that there's a challenging new emotional opportunity that comes through, and that could be part of what it is. And the actual new opportunity itself, because of the emotions that are involved, are going to be challenging for you because of things that have happened in the past. But you need to be doing some learning. You need to learn about it. You need to learn how to to navigate it, to make it grow. Now we do have the Four of Swords in the reverse, suggesting that there is some healing that you need to do, and that is obviously going to come in with this learning as well. Now this healing could be physical, it could be emotional. I'm going to assume it's very emotional, to be completely honest with you. But it's very much, if you've maybe taken a step back from things to do some inner healing. Now it doesn't mean that if you're in a partnership that you have to leave that person. It could just be simply that you're taking a bit of time on your own. Maybe going on a retreat. You can by all means take your partner with you. Could just be simply taking an hour every now and then to yourself, going on walks, and taking that time to do some inner soul searching, some inner healing as well. And then we do have a Four of Wands. So there will be learning about what makes you stable, learning about what makes you emotionally fulfilled. It is that stability, the emotional fulfillment, family, long-term happy unions. So learning how to deal with your emotions fully in order to help you keep them stable so that you can have that long-term happy, stable relationship with family. That's lovely. I do wish you every success in ridding yourself of this devil energy. It's never easy, especially when you've had it for a long time, depending on what it is. Right, let's get you an angel of light. We'll get you some luminous pathways as well to see what other messages Spirit wants to convey. Wow, that just chucks cards out. So you've got Archangel Michael. So when you were blessed with this angel card, you were guided to invoke Archangel Michael to help protect you and strengthen you. He will increase your ability to deal with problems, so ask him to cut with his sword any emotional cords which bind you to people, stuck situations or past memories. Then ask him to fill you with strength and love. So again, cutting those emotional ties. He will shield you from the destructive thoughts, emotions and actions of others. Archangel Michael works on the blue ray, giving strength and courage. Call for his help and visualize yourself wearing a deep blue cloak securely fastened. This will place you under his protection. He is the master of all angels, a great warrior spirit. Within his light, you will feel more secure, have more confidence, energy, and power. Your affirmation: I am strong and protected by Archangel Michael. Okay, let's get you some luminous pathways. I bought these cards thinking they were going to be a lot bigger. The packet is a lot bigger, but tiny cards. Never mind. The absurdity of it all, eh? Can we get some luminous pathways, please, Spirit, for Cancer? That's a lot of cards. All right. Ooh. Okay, so we have Twin Flames, the Spirit Animal, the Guiding Light, the Healing Hands, the Guardian Angel, and the Mystic Table. Right, as these are new, I don't yet know them all, so I am going to have to get my little book. Now, unfortunately, they are not in alphabetical order, so it might take me a while to get through all of these, so I do apologise. We will get there. And they might not be in order, obviously. Right, so the guardian angel signifies protection, guidance and support from the unseen realms. It reassures you of the constant spiritual support surrounding you. The spirit animal represents instinct, nature and personal power. It encourages you to connect with your primal strengths and wisdom of the natural world. That could be very much taking that time to yourself. The healing hands represents comfort, care and healing. It suggests a time for healing, whether physical, emotional or spiritual, and receiving or giving care. Very much that Four of Swords energy. The Mystic's Table represents tools, preparation and readiness. It signifies the need to prepare and equip yourself for the journey on tasks ahead. The twin flames symbolise unity, partnership and duality. It speaks of deep connections, whether in romance, friendships or business, highlighting the strength found in partnership. And I seem to have missed some. Oh, can't even talk. And the spirit animal represents instinct, nature and personal power. It encourages you to connect with your primal strengths and the wisdom of the natural world. So again, getting yourself out into nature. Now, I don't know if I did the guardian light. I can't remember. I don't think I did. And this represents guidance, mentorship and direction. This card assures you that help is available, whether through a person, a sign or your inner wisdom. Okay. I hope you enjoyed your reading today. Not Pisces, Cancer. Crikey, don't know where I got Pisces from. I hope you enjoyed your reading today, Cancer. If you did, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. It will help pass the message on to anybody else that needs to hear it. Good luck and thank you very much for joining me.